In Greek and Roman mythology, a harpy, also known as hárpyia, is a half-human and half-bird. They were known as the Hound of Zues. They were the personification of storm wind monsters and were under the command of Zeus, who would send them out during storms to do his bidding. If a person or object went missing, it would be blamed on the harpies. Harpies were generally depicted as birds with the heads of maidens, faces pale with hunger and long claws on their hands. Roman and Byzantine writers detailed their ugliness. Pottery art depicting the harpies featured beautiful women with wings. Ovid described them as human vultures. In the ancient Greek world, the harpies were sent by the gods, namely Zeus, Hera, and Athena, to punish people who had angered the gods. They were under the dominion of Zeus and were often referred to as the Hounds of Zues. The harpies were seen as being bad luck as they could come out of nowhere, steal, destroy property, and wreak havoc on people's lives. They were always ravenous and would steal food or eat their victims before carrying them away. If a person or object suddenly disappeared into thin air, the common conclusion would be that a harpy had carried them off in their sharp talons. According to Hesiod in his Theogony, the harpies are daughters of Thaumas, the son of the earth, goddess Gaia, and of the Oceanide Electra. They are also sisters of Iris, the personification of the rainbow and a messenger of the Olympian gods. The harpies and King Phineus. The myth most famously associated with the harpies is the tale of King Phineus. King Phineus was the king of Thrace who had offended the gods. In the most famous version of the myth, he had remarried after his first wife had died, and in his eagerness to make his new bride happy, he allowed her to torture his children. In other versions, King Phineus was given the gift of prophecy, but infuriated the gods by revealing too many of their plans. As punishment, Phineus was blinded, and the gods sent the harpies to torment. The harpies refused to let him eat by constantly snatching his food or spoiling it with their foul stench. As a result, Phineus never got enough to eat and started wasting away. He was finally saved by Jason and the Argonauts, who had stopped over in Thrace during their journey to collect the Golden Fleece. Two of the Argonauts, Calais and Zates, the brothers of Phineus' first wife, wanted to kill the harpies, but their sister, Iris, persuaded the Argonauts to spare them if they promised to keep away from King Phineus. The harpies were then driven off to the Strophates Islands in the Ionian Sea. The harpies and Aeneas. Aeneas was a Trojan hero and the son of the goddess Aphrodite. After the Trojan War ended and Troy was destroyed, Aeneas received a prophecy that he would found a great city, Rome. He traveled far and wide, ending up in the Strophates Islands, where the harpies were living at the time. Aeneas and his men hunted some goats and cattle for food. But as they sat down to enjoy their feast, the harpies swooped down, grabbed their food, and spread their stinking filth. Aeneas and his men moved to another spot. But the same thing happened. Aeneas ordered his men to fight the harpies, but their weapons could not harm them. Celaeno, the leader of the harpies, told the men that they would suffer terrible hunger for trying to kill her and her sisters and would not be able to found a city until they had grown so hungry that they had eaten their tables. After Aeneas and his men had arrived in Italy, they became so hungry that they began to eat the bread platters that they had been served a meal on. They realized that these platters were the tables that Celaeno had spoken about. The Podarge and her children. The harpy Podarge lay with the west wind, Zephyrius, and bore the magical and immortal horses Xanthus and Balius. Xanthus and Balius ran like the wind and pulled the chariot of Achilles during the Trojan War. The gods gave the magical horses as a wedding gift to Peleus, king of the Myrmidons of Thessaly and a hero in Greek mythology, when he married the sea goddess Thetis. The horses were then given to their son Achilles when he went to fight in Troy. Today, the term harpy can sometimes be used to describe a mean, heartless woman. However, the harpies can also be viewed as strong female characters who represent male fears about female power and who are ultimately a symbol of the feminist movement. Harpies are associated with both vultures and eagles, lending their name to one of the largest and most awe-inspiring eagle species, the harpy eagle. Much like the mythological harpies, the harpy eagle swoops down, seemingly out of thin air, to snatch up its prey in its talons. A creature resembling a harpy can also be seen on the coat of arms of the European Principality, Liechtenstein, where the half-woman, half-bird creature is referred to as a virgin eagle.